Okay, well, I'm back. I'm just finished up finishing my lunch in here in Chepo, and I'm about to get back on my Yamaha V-Star 250 and head on to Chepo, pick up some gas, and then continue on my way looking for the road to Carti. Anyway, so here I am driving into Chepo here. It's a little town just off the Pan American Highway, and I'm going to get myself some gas because it's getting kind of late in the day, and I know that things close up early out here in the countryside, and since I've never been east of Chepo before, I don't know how much gas stations there are out there and what the availability of fuel is. So I'm going to fill up my tank on my bike. I've only come about 36 miles, and it only took about a half a gallon in the tank itself. I went on the internet and looked for a gas can, a spare gas can for motorcycles, and on the internet there were some fancy ones that were for sale for about $30. But I decided I went to the local hardware store here in Panama, and I found a really nice 1-gallon can for $8. So I'm paying for the gas in advance there, and that guy's always, I've been here before, and he's always kind of grumpy, but then of course he's working in that little room behind a cage and fluorescent lights, so I'm sure he's not too happy. Anyway, that gas can I was talking about, you see how it just came right out of my saddlebag. It fits perfect. It was almost like it was manufactured for my saddlebag. And I'm going to fill it up. I haven't filled it up before. Like I said, it only took a half a gallon of gas in my gas tank, but then when I went to put the gas into the gas can, of course I wasn't prepared for the foaming of the gas, and I kind of spilled it over on the gas when I put the gas in the gas can. Anyway, so out here in the countryside, like I say, these gas stations tend to close up kind of early. I don't think it's like maybe about 3 o'clock at the moment, and so I just figured I'd better get some extra gas. Anyway, you can see I filled it up a little bit too much, and then of course I tried to round it up to the even dollar, and I had a gallon in there and another half a gallon. It came up to right around $6. And so when I squeezed it in there trying to top it off, of course I filled up the gas can too much, so ended up with having to pour a little bit of that gas out. You can see it's filled right up to the top. There's no room for the spout without making it flow over, so I just dump a little bit out on the ground. It'll evaporate pretty quick, and I don't think it'll end up in the environment. Anyway, so here in Panama, the fuel is about the same price as it is in the United States at the time that this was shot. Was I think a run around $4, a little over $3.80 a gallon, just about $4 a gallon. So that comes out about right. A gallon in the tank and a half gallon in my can, or a gallon in the gas can and a half gallon in the tank ran around $6. And you can see they're already closing up the gas station, so it was a pretty good idea that I went and picked up the extra fuel. The guy didn't charge me the extra 2 cents, gave me back my $4, so he might be grumpy, but he's a nice guy. Anyway, here in Panama, there's a whole bunch of stray dogs running around, and they're friendly. They're not owned by anybody, but they're well fed and seem to be healthy, and they're not too eat up with bugs. So, but they're everywhere, just everywhere. Anyway, so got a little extra gas on the outside there. Make sure I don't have anything before I stick it in my bag. But once again, it just it's like that can was manufactured for the saddlebags. It just slips right in there, and so this gives me an extra 80 miles in that can. So, and with the 240 that's in my tank, I have about 300 miles worth of gas, and that should be plenty to get me where I want to go this afternoon. So anyway, this little tank bag I got here is from Carti, and it's really nice, held on with magnets. I don't go much over 55, 60, and the bike won't go over 70, so I've never worried about it getting blown off the tank. I suppose if it was on a Harley, it might get lost, but on this bike, it's enough. Now, there's no welfare in Panama, so everybody has a job, and everywhere you go, there seems to be somebody wanting to sell you something out of a little box. Like that girl there, that lady there is trying to sell some candy. I didn't buy any, so I guess she's going to have to keep working. Now, I forgot to set my odometer on my bike, which is how I tell how much mileage I've got to go. And so I'm going to go across the street. I see a little red pickup coming out there. Now, he's going to be like all other Panamanians. I'm going all the way across the street. I'm going to pull off onto this concrete. Don't have my bike in the road at all to reset my odometer. And this guy is going to cut the corner, and he's just got to wait for me to get out of the way. He's got the whole road, but now he's going to wait for me to get out of the way. So anyway, so we're pulling out of town, and there's more of those red devils, and of course there's one with all its lights flashing. Those guys really light their buses up at night. Now, as I was going down the road, I saw some roadkill, so I thought I'd better go back and take some pictures of it. And here in Panama, you know you're not in Michigan anymore because the roadkill looks like it should be in a zoo. And that first animal, I think, was an anteater, and then, of course, there was a really big snake. Now, here I am coming up on the Pan American Highway again, headed east, out of Chepo, going towards the Darien, and then here's the entrance to the road to Carti. And of course, this road goes to where the Kuna Indian tribe lives, and they also control the San Blas Islands. And so there's a lot of tourism that goes up this way. Now, this road here is paved, and I only went a couple clicks down the road, and it started to turn into spots of gravel. And of course, my bike isn't really set up for gravel. It's got those road tires on it. And I'm always worried about either slipping or getting stuck in some mud or maybe a big rock punching through the tire because there isn't a whole lot of tread on it. So anyway, I started climbing the hills right away, and this bike only produces about 15 or 16 horsepower, so it kind of runs out of legs pretty quick. Plus, I've changed the gear ratio with the sprockets. So I'm running a 17 tooth on the front and a 40 on the back, and that makes it into so that fourth gear is kind of like fifth gear used to be, and now fifth gear is kind of like a real overdrive. So again, it kind of runs out of legs pretty quick when you're going up a steep hill, and a couple places here I was getting down to the bottom of third and the top of second to continue to climb up the hills. And once again, I got started a little bit late in the day, and so I know the sun's going to go down around 6:30. And since it was kind of cloudy and drizzly, the further we got up I got up into the hills, the more it started to spit, and the road surface was going to get slick, and it was going to get dark. And man, I just didn't want to be out on this mountain road in the dark with slippery surface on these street tires, and then have a problem. So I didn't go too far up the road. They're building a whole lot of stuff out in this direction because all of Panama wants to increase its tourism. Now, this road used to have places where it crossed rivers, and there were no bridges, so you had to go through a ford. And I heard that the average depth was about 18 to 20 inches. And during the rainy season, of course, it's a little bit deeper. Now, the intakes to my carburetors run around 24, 26 inches off the ground. So there were going to be times when, if I had to cross a river or two, that I was going to take a chance of flooding out my bike, and I didn't want to do that. So about 6 months ago, they put bridges up on this road, and so now you don't have to ford the rivers anymore to get out there, but the road is still steep, and it turns into gravel for, at least 20 miles of this road is in gravel. So I really didn't want to do that on my street tires, so I didn't go that far up the road. I got to this one spot where they were overlooking a valley, and they were building a hotel with shipping containers. So I thought that was kind of interesting, so I stopped and took a couple pictures of that. And here's one picture of the hotel built out of shipping containers, which again I thought it was kind of interesting. So once again, I finally found the road to Carti, and so once I get all packed up with all my camping gear and everything, I'm going to head on back. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and take care, ride safely, and I'll post something when I get out to the very end, and maybe when I go to the San Blas Islands. Anyway,